Hi, welcome to Giulio's Bar. Today we're going to talk to Jenya about Genya's GinYa Splash Gin #1.
Hi guys, so my name is Jenya and here is my bar. So welcome to my bar and thank you for having me. So I'm really excited to try his cocktail with the gin splash gin.
Yeah, I thought about a couple of cocktails with Genya's first gin.
Yeah.
She produced this gin using pink pepper. It's the first subtitle. So first of all, actually, I forgot to tell you, maybe we should try this neat. And just see what are our impressions of it.
Sure.
So let's pour a bit. This is a precious bottle because it's the last one.
In the last one, so we made 200 bottles only. Right, it's first collaboration for GinYa Splash Gin. So with Shakotan distillery, which like in Hokkaido, they use umami, they use more like kombu, like saltiness, you know, and like heatness. So I want to do like something like punchy to use for the cocktail like Negronis.
Mm.
So what do you smell?
So now I'm just gonna guess what's inside.
Okay.
She didn't tell me. Well, pink pepper, yes. Pink pepper first thing on the nose, for sure. Where did you get the inspiration for this gin?
So like something I want to have like punchy and finish it. Like I don't want to have anything like super smooth. I want people to taste the spiciness. And I wanted them to taste like oily, bitter a little bit to play for the cocktail. So it's nice to have like neat, yeah. But still, I want to have as bartender perfect Negronis.
Okay.
And when people ask like, what's like your gin is, what's for? I'm like, it's not just for gin tonic. So I usually not making gin tonic. If people ask like what the best gonna be, add like maybe like sonic, like some like collaboration between soda and tonic, yeah. But mostly for me, like main to have a gin for Negronis.
Mm. I smell mint. Is there mint? No.
Well, it's more like, but yeah, we use like a lot of herbs. So we use herb from Hokkaido, and so it's more like seaweed as well. So they give you kind of like saltiness and citrusy a little bit. So we use a little bit like lavender as well.
Lavender. That's the thing that I was like, yes, something that I cannot quite pinpoint. Yeah, lavender, which makes sense. Hokkaido is famous for its lavender field.
Yeah.
Mm. And yes, it's kind of like a bite. Yeah, to me it will taste like peppermint, but maybe it's not. It's another kind of herb that you're using.
Yeah, so it's like from herb and like pink pepper, and plus like of course like umami, and then like citrusy. You know, the more like the balancing kind of. And so I could say like when I ask the distillery what kind of like profile we want to make, so I say like I want something like dry and oily, like starting with kind of like citrusy, then like more like herbally, more like you walk inside the forest, and then like boom.
Okay.
You know, so they made exactly what I asking for. You know, we had like 2 months working on the like recipe, but yeah, in the end, so as you could see, like it's more oily.
Oh yeah. It leaves
a lot of oils. Yeah,
it's a technical term. Yeah,
technical,
it leaves,
but yeah, like tears, you know,
oil
like,
shadow on the glass.
Yeah.
And do you think, are you planning on making more of this gin? Maybe another kind of gin?
Well, as you could see, this is like splash gin.
#1.
#1.
So you're thinking about making #2?
We're working on it.
Okay, well, that's news.
Well, it's news, but yeah, I cannot say more. But yeah, let me kind of like explain like why it's called like splash gin. So I had like inspiration more about the taste in my mouth. So when I have like some booze, like alcohol, like spirits, so I wanted to express in the label. Don't put like anything just like name, but I want to show like how I feel, what I taste about the gin, and so it's more like about like the bouquet of flavor, you know. It's not like so smooth. So if it's like the gin will be like simply like smooth like citrus, so I will add like just like simple, you know. But for me, this gin has a lot of flavor, a lot's like going on in my mouth. So it's like how I feel, and like I put like a lot of like splash, as you see. So all this like craft.
Actually, you did this yourself?
Yeah. all by myself.
It's amazing. Like the amount of work she put in this bottle is absolutely insane. And what about this decoration here?
So the decoration, so it's like to show like what's craft is, you know. And like so it was 200 bottles. It was more meditation for me to like going like around and like as you could see like the number of the bottle on the back.
I have 138 of 200.
So the blue, because it's like Shakotan blue, close to the ocean. Yeah. This is why mostly they're like it's like blue color. And then like the red, of course, it's like pink pepper.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I featured their gin and the bouquet version of their gin. I maybe even featured the blue one, maybe once. And yeah, they make all great stuff, and I think they made a great product here too. By the way, I thought about a couple of cocktails trying to represent what Genya's gin tastes like. And let's get down to mixing the first one. It's going to be a play on a simple martini, and I really didn't want to mess around with the flavor of the gin. So I went really, really simple. I'm going to use Cocchi Americano as the vermouth of choice because I think that kind of like quinine and extra vanilla it has are going to bring a complement to the gin we have today. And so 50 milliliters per portion, so I'm going to make two. And so I'm going to make 30 milliliters. And then as for the gin, it's going to be 45 milliliters.
Wow.
For two, so we have 90 milliliters of gin. And then for the thing that brought everything together for me, while I was tasting it, I was like, I kind of feel like I want to mix some chocolate, but also some vanilla, and also a bit of sugar. So instead of going through all these stages, I just thought, well, I'm going to use the Tempus Fugit's crème de cacao la vanille, which has all those flavors in a really small amount, though. I'm going to use one dash of this Tempus Fugit per portion, so a couple of dashes. One dash, 0.6 milliliters, I think, so let's get up.
I'm like, well, something I never seen like bartending life, you know, to have like needles here. So it's more like kind of like bitter style that you use, you know, because for martini, mostly like people use like Angostura bitters.
Yeah, I would use normally a bitter or orange bitter or chocolate bitters or something like that. But this one combines also a bit of sugar. And so we solve all our problem with just one ingredient.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Now I'm going to ask Giulio for some ice.
Sure. There you go.
And I'm going to give this one a stir. Where does your passion for gin start from?
For the gin, exactly like 2013, I think like 11 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I went to the bar in Ebisu and I saw the like cute bottle, this monkey. But that was like absinthe bar. And so I was like seeing this, like the bottle is like monkey. I'm like, what is that? It looks like medicine, you know? And it was like, well, gin is medicine. I'm like, huh?
Was it Bar Trench? Did
you
go?
No, at that time was like Trump. Bar Trump on the second floor.
Okay, yeah, they have all the tiara.
It was like first bar for absinthe. So I tried the gin because bartender was like told me, and they was like, oh, you should try it. So I had like not a good like experience with the gin before because I went to the club and like everyone was drinking like gin tonic. So I tried. I'm like, nah, it's like the way too sweet for me. But I was thinking it's more about gin. I don't think about like tonic, right? So I had like no idea about that. And then like in the bar, the bartender was like, oh, do you mind to try like neat? So I tried monkey. I'm like, what is that? And then I asked for like splash of soda. And that time it's just like, boom. So I started to like see more information, learn more about gin. But the problem, you know, in Japan, people don't have that many at that time. Like 11 years ago, it just like 3, like 4 brands, that's all. And then like, yeah, all the my like passion, like love, start from like Monkey.
And actually, Monkey was one of my first serious gin too. My cousin, which was a bartender at Grand Hotel in Gardone Riviera by Lago di Garda, he gave me Monkey as a present. And yeah, it was a different world compared to what we were drinking at that time, which was not good, let's say.
Well, I guess like it's not about like good, bad. It's more about like people push more tonic. They're more about like gin tonic. Tonic. Yeah. Tonic was like the main, not the gin.
Also, the gin I knew back in the 90s was just like a vodka with a lot of juniper. It was not taste, it didn't have a nuance. Yeah. I really hated gin actually for the longest time. Then there was the boom of gin in Italy, and all this new gin came by, they got imported, and we started appreciating a lot more. And in Japan, everything arrived a bit late. Now it's a boom of gin.
Finally, but you know, we opened 6 years ago, and people walk inside like craft gin. What's craft gin is? You know, like, do you need that many bottles? You know, and like, I'm like, yeah, I do need. I need more and more. You know, because it's like different style of making, different botanicals. But it's like it's so cool. So I'm thirsty.
Yeah. Wait, let's decorate with one of these beautiful dry fruits.
Sure, let's get some garnish.
The GinYa is here.
Martini with dry garnish. That's really new for me.
It's just for decoration. I think that flavor-wise, we are complete.
Yeah.
We don't need any expression, but just, you know, make it pretty. Yeah. This will be just a GinYa Martini. I don't have any clever name for it, but I hope you're going to like it.
Well, what we say, chin chin?
Chin chin in Italian, yes. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It's like something I never tried before. It's like, it's not Martini, guys. It's a dangerous drink. It's so smooth.
Yes, I think the chocolate, the bitterness of Americano, and the spiciness of your gin combine quite nicely.
It's really long finish, but like what was first, I taste like chocolate, and then like more like saltiness, little bit like sweetness, and just like, you know, like salty caramel, this kind of style.
Oh yeah.
And then like finish like slowly, like they like caramel melting in your mouth and like going down, like kind of like buttery a little bit. Yeah. More like creamy, I can say. Like I couldn't say it's like oyster style, like milky, but more like creamy. Maybe like from like vanilla touch.
Yeah. Having a bit of sugar also make it a bit smoother. So it's not dry. I would say medium.
It's really medium. It's close to like kind of like wet style. Wet, you know. It's
wet Martini.
Yeah. It's more like wet Martini.
Yeah, in fact, the proportions are 3:1, 3 parts gin, 1 part vermouth.
Well, guys, I feel so bad for you, but it's really good. It's really good. It's more like the balance between like, you know, liqueur, bitters, like gin, and his technique. Really good.
My technique is... I just worked around a bit, like around the flavors. I was lucky to nail on this Tempus Fugit, which actually I use really little because for me it's too sweet. But just here it combined everything I needed. A bit of chocolate, a bit of vanilla, a bit of sugar. That's
cool. I never see it here. Because I had like different like cacao, but like without like vanillas, you know.
Yeah, this one, Kayama used it. So I was like, I gotta get it. Hiroyasu Kayama.
Benfitic, yeah.
Kayama. He used that unexpectedly in some kind of combination. I was like, that doesn't match there. And it totally matched because...
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, I guess I need to get it. Then to me, it's a bit too sweet. I prefer to use chocolate bitters normally. In this case, it matched well. So there you go. I found a good use for it.
This is so good, guys. Dangerous. I couldn't taste like alcohol. It's not like punching, you know, like as usual, like you drink Martini, like woo.
Yeah. And also it's the Cocchi Americano. I have a problem with it in the sense that I love it too much. And really, I'm kind of dependent. And and over time, where the Cocchi wins.
You know, it's funny though. Now with kind of like dilution of the like aeration, I could like start to taste more like apple cinnamon. You know, like saltiness, like vanillas, like finishes like a biscuit, maybe like a cookies with like apple. Like I don't know, but like I get this kind of like flavor. You know, like.
Okay, you can see that she's totally better than me in finding flavors. I just say, oh, it's good.
Well, you know, I mean, like, you know, with the time, because it's like you give it a little bit time when it's like cold. So first impression is more like boom, like you never tried before, right? For me, it's like this kind of like 3 bottles, like what it's made, it's like really like unique for me. And like I tried them, like boom, and give it more and more time to open up more. It's like a flower. You know, it's changing with the temperature. So
yeah,
but sometimes like some cocktail when it's changed, so it's not so good. But this is like still like really nicely done, opens more flavor. And as we say in the cocktail life, it's 12 minutes. So you have to finish your cocktail without like 12 minutes. Otherwise, it's gonna be like not so good.
Actually, I didn't know about that. 12 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the best because, like, you know, it's like
it's
for Martini. Like,
yeah, you shouldn't leave it there.
For the good cocktail, yeah. Don't drink it that fast. So this is why we do have a water next to us, guys. So don't think we're drinking that much, right?
Yeah. My wife was scolding me because I don't drink enough water when I have cocktails. So now I'm gonna follow advice of my wife and Jenya.
But I know it works, you know, like you're going to be thankful me in the morning. So it's like, hey, I didn't drink that much. I didn't have that much. Ooh. Oh, wow.
Nice. I'm going to ask you, how did you come to Japan?
Crazy question. Really
okay.
Crazy. Well, so I came as a model here and more than like 20 years ago. So I came for a 3 months contract, 1 suitcase, 1 language, and $20 in my pocket.
How old were you at the time?
18.
18?
I was just like turned 18. Yeah.
Okay. And you didn't know English?
No. Well, I mean, like I knew just a little bit, you know, some words, but I never had a chance to talk. You know, and I was a teenager. My teacher, she's like, hey, you have to learn English. And I'm like, hey, I'm Russian. I don't need your English, you know. And she's like, wow, those kids, you know. And so now I feel like I should learn that time much more. I should be more patient about it. I should be more curious about different language, you know. But I had like no experience from the side that like someone can teach me and like show me that like, hey girl, you're gonna traveling in the world, you will be lucky to speak more languages, right? And so yeah, I came here, 1 language, but my agency was really good. They were so kind. So I still work with them. So I still work with 2 agencies.
But it's
model agency in Tokyo.
In Japan? How
yeah,
did
in Japan.
they
found me.
They found you?
Yeah.
What, did you put a picture online?
No. I was working as a model in Russia. So I was working as a model. So we had like scouts there at that time. So if you want to come to Japan or not. So first time was my different agency. But so I came to Japan and I feel like, hey, I have more like chance maybe to work here. Japan, yeah. So I started to send my picture to other agencies. And so I got like call from one of them. And I was like, so come to see us. So I went to have a casting. And I was like, well, girl, we see that like you could work. And so I still like being in touch with them. I had like shooting here like 2 weeks ago with them. Like, yeah.
So now I'm gonna play the part of the asshole. I'm gonna say like, you see like this blonde model opening a gym bar, and you think it's just a trend. You know, she's playing with fashion of the week, but you will be so wrong because she's a fucking gin encyclopedia. She knows everything, and you just heard her talking about the notes in the flavors that I don't even know. So she's the top expert, and yeah, you will see the hundreds of gin. How many you have now?
Well, I stopped counting, you know, after we like had like 500 or like 600.
Okay.
I think now around like maybe like 800 or like 900, so I stopped counting.
And so if you come to Tokyo, you gotta come here. It's next to Ikebukuro, which people always made fun of Ikebukuro.
Yeah.
They said it was kind of like a trashy, but the thing is, there is everything. I always love Ikebukuro. I live nearby because it's a bit more blue collar, more working class, but you get everything. You can get all the bars you can get in Shinjuku, all the fashion you can get in Shibuya, all the shopping mall you can get in Ginza. Here there is everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like a really cool place to hang out.
Yeah. Well, so many people was like, hey, why Ikebukuro? I'm like, well, I was kind of lucky. I was looking for different locations, but I didn't have the time, like, or the place that I feel I like it. So I was lucky. I came here to have a coffee, and the owner is really kind gentleman. He was like, so why not to open here? I'm like, why? What do you mean, like here? He's like, well, because we closed, like, so upstairs is hostel. So backpackers come here, and like in the morning they had like breakfast, and then like they leave around like 6. So it was like closed from 6 till the morning. And so the owner, he was like, Jenya, so open it here. If you don't like it, close it. And I'm like, wait. It's not like so easy, you know?
Yeah.
And so I took this part. So we share rent that time. So. And then when, you know, the situation with COVID happened, he was worried about all the building because no backpackers, the people lost their job. And then, like, so not that many people come to have a drinks, but still, he wanted to help. And he helped a lot. He gave me more time to build everything inside. So we changed interior. Completely we changed it.
Yeah, it's really
we built ourselves a lot, so we had a really good customer here to come and like build like the walls, like the shells, like they put all the lights to show more like labels, you know. We made this community to help us to growing, and so during COVID, so I had a good time with people chatting through Instagram. We had a live, we had a like Gin Festival TV, so we had this connection between all these people. And yeah, when people was like, why still Ikebukuro? I'm like, it's so special because this place gives a lot opportunity for me, for people who love gin, for people who make gin, you know. And as you came here before for events, so you saw so many people traveling. They don't care if it's like Ikebukuro or not. And it's not like super like trashy as used to be.
So I've been here for 20 years.
Yeah.
Ikebukuro used to be, maybe a bit trashy. Now, Ikebukuro got so much more popular. It's insanely popular with tourists. Many tourists. I found like a group of Italian tourists here. They just wanted to go to Sunshine. Sunshine is a tall building where you can go and see the landscape. There is an aquarium and stuff.
Yeah.
And also really popular with otaku or fan of manga, especially women fan of manga.
Anime.
Yes.
Right.
Because they have, like maid cafe. I think they have a host cafe. Butler cafe?
Well, kind of like,
It's like men serving women.
But yeah, you know, like now Ikebukuro is changed a lot. Which I mean, like it's good for like tourists, but for me as like bartender to think like people like the image of Ikebukuro was not that great, but as you saw, we have like Libre, we have really good bars around the area. Yeah. We have whiskey bar being open for like 29 years.
We have Aloha Whiskey is really cool. We have
Oasis.
Yeah, we have Bar Libre Ikebukuro as a bar, which is really famous. It goes all around the world doing clinics and stuff.
Ikebukuro is great, guys. Come.
Yeah. Should we start mixing the next drink? So next cocktail is going to be a Negroni variation. Well, Negroni, it's...
bartender drinks.
Kind of Negroni. So we are going to start with Jet 31, which actually is the first time I use in a cocktail. I try working around with a Branca Menta because that's usually what I prefer. But I thought that this liqueur, which is actually a single note mint and sugar thing, worked better in this context. And so I'm going to use 5 milliliters per portion, so 10 milliliters in this case, because I'm going to mix two, one for Jenya and one for me. Then we're going on with 15 milliliters of Campari. Well, not much of a surprise here. The standard of Negroni around the world, but so like half a portion, let's say. because we have 30 milliliters for 2 persons, so 50 milliliters per person. And then we go with Averna, the most standard Amaro there is, standard bitterness, standard sweetness, I always say. And we're going to need 22.5 milliliters per person, or 3/4 of an ounce, and so for 2 persons, it's going to be 45. And then we are going to use, we are thinking we are going to kill the GinYa's bottle because we are going to need 60 milliliters per person, and I hope we have enough. So 60 milliliters per 2. Let's see, I think we have just kind of enough. Yeah,
it's perfect.
It's going to be enough. And so we finished the last bottle we know of. Splash number 1. Let's give this bad boy a stir. Did you go and study in England or something?
Yeah. So I went to London to learn about bartending. I went to London Bar School. Ooh. So I studied there. It was really cool. It was really hard, but yeah, I got really good experience there. So it was about like mixology, more like about bartending, setup, how to like perfect setup, how to move your body, like how to make the cocktail. But it's much different from like Japanese style because there is more like free pouring, you know. And here is like in Japan mostly like jigger.
Yeah.
And mostly about like presentation. But like it was really good experience for me. Just like boom, slapping me, waking me up. Yeah. How's it?
I think it's good. And so let's pour it over some big rock of ice. Wait, what's the shape of
the ice?
They have like a pattern.
Yeah, I have a lot of free time to make this cute ice, you know.
Wow.
But no, I got this like a really cute like system to make the ice. So I'm playing with it, playing around. Wow, that's a lot of Negronis, guys.
That's but it's also a really big ice. I'm not used to it. Let's express some grapefruit peel on it.
Sure.
Thank you. Ha, this is going to be fun. It doesn't fit. There you go.
Ooh.
Let's do this. And there you go. Giulio Negroni.
Well, Jenya Negroni, so I'm not sure how you're gonna get it, just like, yeah, sip it. Well, so... Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Campari. Cheers. For our health. Oh! Oh, wow. And the most like refreshing Negroni that I had in my life, mint.
Yeah,
yes. In the end.
Yeah, mint is the first flavor that comes up. Campari gives a spiciness. Averna gives like a background of sweet bitterness, like it brings the sugar, but also the kind of complement. And then you have a GinYa's gin.
Really like, what the flavor I could say like. Negroni, but not Negroni. It's like refreshing Negroni, like waking up in the morning. Yeah, it's not quite
Negroni.
But it's like for the morning Negroni, I could say.
Morning Negroni. Well, if you can drink this as a morning Negroni, you have a pretty strong,
well,
so much.
I mean, like, it's refreshing, you know, because usually, like, people, like, when they have, like, Negronis, when, like, someone walk inside the bar and the first order is Negroni, people gonna think it's bartender ordering. Why? Because we love to sip it just, like, slowly because it's heavy. But yours, it's more refreshing, you know, it's, like, absolutely, like, different style of Negroni that I had before. But it's really good, no?
Yeah, it's not quite a Negroni. It's the style of a Negroni in the sense that he has the gin, he has the Campari, but everything else is different. Yeah, I found the Jet 31 single note of mint really helpful in here. I think it was bringing out what I thought was mint, but it was not really mint in the GinYa. And you have the mint playing with more like herbal flavors and the Campari playing with more spicy flavors of the pink pepper and stuff.
I was like, yeah, I could taste like the spiciness, the citrusy, the bitterness. It's like a lot of flavor.
Yeah, Averna has quite an amount of oranges in it.
Guys, I'm working from 6, so now it's like 3 or like 4, whatever. But yeah, I feel like it's good. This is what I say, refreshing for me as bartender.
Yeah, we are taping in the afternoon.
Yeah. So I'm curious now too, how you became a YouTuber, Instagrammer, cocktail maker, like.
Well, everything starts from a trip my wife took to England. So she wasn't one of those, talent development thing where they give more tips on how to lead a company or how to lead a group of people. She came back and she said, "You have to drink whiskey. It's so awesome." I'm like, okay.
From UK, she came back and said that
and
whiskey.
She said like, "Oh no, you really have to have Irish whiskey, Scotch whiskey. It's so good." I'm like, okay, I don't really like whiskey. I think it's too sweet. It's not kind of my thing. But she was so wrong. She made the mistake of her life because then, as you see in my bar, now I have 10s, 20, 30 whiskey. We have hundreds of bottles, and that all started from there. We started with the whiskey. Then I was like, well, let's try the rums. Then we got into cocktails, and I always mix cocktails since I was a teenager. Can I say that? Yeah.
Well, you tried.
In Italy, it's legal.
You didn't drink it, let's say it.
In Italy, it's legal from when you're 18. But yeah, I was mixing stuff, and it just all came back to me. Like having all these new spirits in my house, I was like, let's make something fun. And I just got back into it. I went to Italy, and I remember I just started because I came back. I was like, we can do so much better with the spritz.
Yeah.
And that's the first video I did, how to fix the spritz, because I feel like normal spritz in Italy, sometimes it's too light, it's too diluted. I was like, if we put some maraschino and vermouth in it, it's going to be better. I still think it's better. And that was the beginning. Then I was like, well, okay, let's make one more video. I was already making video before for my guitar effects pedal company. I was making guitar pedals before.
Oh, okay.
And then I started doing this just right after Corona. So yeah, Corona kind of killed my enterprise before. Well, I was not doing great, but let's say Corona, it's a good excuse.
Well, it's like, it's kind of like changed everyone's life.
Yeah, I couldn't ship my pedals to anywhere else in the world for, I don't know, a year or two. So that kind of like did it. And then I started with this thing of making cocktails, and I like it. I really like it.
But yeah, I was watching your video. I'm really like enjoying to watch, and like all your expression about the gin, like what you make and like what you do, just like boom, boom, boom. Even today, like the ingredients you brought, I'm like, I wouldn't like mix it, but like it's really good.
Yeah, actually,
the taste.
The Martini came out pretty much in one night. I tried a few things, and then I landed on the Tempus Fugit cacao, and that was it. The Negroni took me a long time. I switched many times the ingredients. I went through many iterations, and then I landed on this one, which, yeah, actually, I'm enjoying it. I think it's pretty good.
It's really good. It's like the finishing, like became more like umami. The one like finishing with the gin. That's what I wanna do, because like from beginning when you have like any cocktails, so I mean like for like splash gin, in the end I want people to taste my gin. It's like wherever like you adding it, it's like now it's like in your Negroni, this is what it works, what was my idea to come in, So I really like it. I'm not gonna lie, so I like gonna sip it like slowly, but for me, I have to process something I never had before. It's super new for me. Boom, guys. He's really genius. He's really genius. And like show up like splash gin and like finish it like with the gin and like touching of pink pepper and the in the like middle to have this like herbally and like saltiness. It's like boom. Cheers. Cheers to you.
Thank you. Oh my God.
I'm really surprised, honestly.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, share with anybody you like and don't like. Steal yourself a Martini, a Negroni, whatever you want. And next time she makes a new gin, be sure to buy it. If you come to Ikebukuro, come to Bar Copain. It's freaking awesome. It's not that far from Ikebukuro station. And hopefully, I will see you next time. Cheers.
Thanks you guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks you for watching us. And yes, thanks you for having me. Thanks. Cheers.